Hello, beautiful people. I am really excited to introduce, with my trusty pocket knife here, my new journal for this year. I say it's for 2025, but it really isn't because the whole thing is undated. So really you could start this journal any year and any time of the year if you wanted. But let's just take this beautiful plastic wrap off here. And this is Purposefully Plan Volume 2. Eee, I'm so excited. Okay. So I'm excited to do a little flip through here with you today to show you what this journal has to offer and explain a little bit of the way that I intend to use this for myself as well. So as I mentioned, it is an undated planner. In the beginning, there's a few of these welcome pages, which explains how to use the journal, obviously, and just a little bit more about myself and how you can connect with me. I have my website here, and I believe I maybe briefly mentioned this YouTube video as well. And then I have a few sample pages of what the content of the journal looks like and how I use it. In future years, I think already I know for my next year's journal, I'm going to take these bits out and just make them a downloadable file or downloadable PDF from my website, just so it doesn't take up space and pages in the journal itself. So these are all just samples. Obviously this thing is annoying me here. I'll have to figure that out. Okay. This is the first kind of page where you'll get to start to really put your own essence into the journal. So my wish is for you to freely explore all the empty spaces and utilize them to your heart's desire. So everything that I've said or kind of intended in the journal can be perceived in any which way that you want. Obviously, it's going to be your journal. You use it to your heart's desire, and there's no right way to express. So I have some things in here as a guide, but my hope is for you to just be able to use it to your fullest expression. So I have this intro section here where it says, I'm a human being who loves, is driven by, is inspired by, has a habit of, is happiest when, believes in, would give, will one day, is afraid of, and who notices. This is just like a little warm-up page to get you tuned into your own intuition. And then we start to move into this ritual part that I have at the beginning of each of my journals. I have this kind of beginning section of a New Year ritual. And again, I will go through each of the pages, but I just want to show you my last year's journal for these purposes as well. Maybe I'll do a little side by side here. So this is a little letter that I wrote to myself. You can see it's unopened. I haven't opened it yet. We're only in November, so I'm going to wait till the end of the year for that. And the energy of the year I decided for myself last year was creatrix. And then I just wrote a little bit of a definition of what that meant to me here. So I'll get to do the same in my new journal for 2025. I added this to this journal. So this isn't in the first version of this, but this is a wheel of the year. And what I like to do with the wheel of the year is I start over here at number 1 and it kind of goes around to 12. So one space for each month of the year. And you can use your favorite tarot deck. You can use an oracle deck. Or maybe you want to use this for goal setting or for different energies or different words that you want to embody for each month or different things that you're trying to achieve. You can really use this space however you want. I intend to use it with my own tarot. Well, maybe oracle. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see when the time comes. And then I put the card that I draw into the box, and then I've left enough space where I'm just going to write all over this page. My plan is to put anything that comes up for myself, any intuitive hits that I get for the cards, and also a description of the card if I don't know already what it means. So that's how I'm going to use this space. I added these 2 pages into this year's journal as well. So there's a section here for past year reflections where we're going to reflect on what you're proud of, people that influenced you, people that you influenced, something you discovered about yourself and things that you're grateful for. And then for the year ahead manifestations, I will love these 4 things about myself. I'll let go of these things, priorities. We'll have the power to say no to these things, and I will dare to discover these things. So it's just another little space where you get to reflect and plan and map out your dreams for the future And then this is where we get into the goal setting. So if you have my journal from last year, you'll recognize these pages. This is where you're going to write out any goals that you have. Maybe they're big, maybe they're small. And also I really encourage you to check out my website. I have a free download on there about setting easy goals. And I also have a YouTube channel, I think, where I've explained what I mean by easy goals. I don't know which one it is, so I'm not going to tag it, but I'll briefly explain what I mean by easy. So it's an acronym. EASY stands for E is expansion, A is alignment, S is scheduled, and Y is for you. So when you write your goals and you make them easy, quote unquote, I want you to think about how that goal makes you feel expansive, like literally makes you feel expansive in your body. The alignment piece is how it is aligned more to your North Star. So let's say you have a North Star purpose in your life. How does this goal get you there? S is scheduled, because we all know if we don't actually set a time frame for our goals, then a lot of times they just kind of fiddle off to the wayside. And Y is for you. So why, also why, just WHY, why are you doing this? But the Y as a letter stands for you, is how is this for you and not for somebody else? Like how are you doing this for you as a person, as opposed to maybe doing it for your kids, you're doing it for your partner, or doing it for your family, or, you know, and it's not in a intention to be selfish in any way, but instead just to remember that you are also important. I know many of us, and if you're attracted to this channel, you might be one of them, who gives a lot, potentially even over nurtures. So it's really important that we tune into ourselves and our own self-care as well, so we can continue to give and to nurture the people that we love in our lives. Okay. Then I have a section here about who would you need to be to have to reach these goals? What challenges do you foresee, and how will you overcome them? And then there's a section here for the why as well. So why are these goals important to you? So you can probably skip it here and add it here. And then I have this reading list here. The first time I ever used this reading list, I was very, what's the word I'm looking for? Overzealous, optimistic. I don't know what the word is, but I filled out every book for all of the books that I wanted to read in the year. And then when the year finished, I was like, womp womp. I think I had colored in like 2 or 3 books only. So this year, I'll show you in my journal, or maybe this is where I did it. No, I didn't. It was last year. So I've got through 5 books so far this year, which is actually pretty good for me. I don't have a lot of time. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't create a lot of time and space for me to read. I just have so many other creative projects that I'm working on, and reading for me takes a bit of a back burner, but I love it. And that's why I keep this in here. And then of course we have this section here for your vision board. So this is where you can break down your goals, your dreams, your desires into specific areas or specific themes in your life, and bring in all of the things that you hope for the new year. This part here is kind of like a year at a glance. If you're a bullet journaler, you'll know what I'm talking about here. And again, I'm gonna bring in my past journal so I can show you an example. I changed it up this year a little bit. You can see I took the title away, year at a glance, and what I did was actually add more spaces for a legend, because I just found like I did more than 3 things in a year, or at least I wanted to see what I had planned out in the groups of vacation time or time away for work or whatever it was. So I created, it's blank, obviously, as you can see, so it's undated. So you can start the week on a Sunday or a Monday, whichever you prefer. And then I have a legend, so you can mark off the days that you're gonna be on vacation, or that you're away from work, or maybe you're working shift work or something like that. And so this is just totally open-ended for you to use to your heart's desire. And then we get into the monthlies. So they're gonna look similar for each month in terms of layout, but I also personally got really bored of my own journal last year, and just how I had the monthlies themed to similar graphics. I just got bored of coloring them, I'm gonna be honest. So I loved it, and also I wanted something different for this year. So each theme now is more based kind of on what that month brings, and it will bring more variety for my own creativity, my own coloring, and my own expression also. But you will see that that's very similar in terms of the content. So on my mind, I affirm, where I'm putting an affirmation for the month. Some bigger tasks here that won't belong in my weeklies, and then the self-care bingo, and then the new moon and full moons, and a monthly reflection. The other thing that I changed a little bit from last year to this year was the weekdays. I left this blank, so you get to decide if you want to start your week on a Monday and have Saturday and Sunday in the same column, or start your week on a Sunday and have them split up. So for some of the feedback I got from my previous journal was a mixed bag. Some people were like, oh, I didn't think about starting my week on a Monday. I personally love that, so I can see my weekends together. And also, generally, Sunday's here and Saturday is here, and that's what people become accustomed to and enjoy that very much. So I made it more open-ended so you can decide how you want your monthly spread to look. And then I changed also these pages, again, based on some feedback, to make them horizontal instead of vertical boxes. And I think that this will just give us a little bit more space to write. I took away the message. I had a, well, I'll show you. In the other journal, I had a bit of like a message here where you could write, let's say you're drawing an oracle card for the day and you can write out your message. I love this concept, and also having this word here was annoying me because it kind of felt like this space wasn't being utilized. Anyways, I'm a bit of a perfectionist at times, as you know, if you follow me. So I made it so there's just more space to write and using up more of the page. I also added some little quotes in places instead of color, like images to color every time. And still there is a minimum of 5 weeks per each month. So you won't use every page every month, but there's enough that it will cover any of those months that we do have 5 full weeks in. And then there's another coloring page at the back that's more themed to the previous month as well, or that current month rather. February. March. I'm going to put on a little bit of music in the background as I flip through here, and we're just going to go through the journal. After the month of June, you'll find a mid-year reset. And I love revisiting goals. I do it more often than once every 6 months, but for those bigger goals, like the things that take longer, like writing my book, for example, I want to check in very specifically on that bigger goal. And so I have these 2 columns, what I had planned, and maybe you have multiple goals that you want to reflect on here, what transpired. So this is a time to get really honest with yourself. And I think for the greater good, obviously, it's not to shame ourselves for not hitting our goals, but it's to understand why. So what I had planned, what actually transpired, and then we're going to reflect on what went well and what didn't. So the goals I missed, why I missed them, the goals I hit, why I hit them. And then it's time to dream again. So maybe based on the information from the previous pages, you're going to readjust your goals for the following 6 months or for the remainder of the year or whatever it is when you started the journal. Maybe this is midway through and it happens to fall in February. I don't know. We're going to take the info and turn it into actionable goals and then list them in order of importance, and then how you're going to set yourself up for success and how you plan to stick to the plan when things get hard, as they do. So it's just a really nice place to reflect and to reset for the year. And then I have pages here for a mystical moment. So use these 2 pages to do whatever you want to do. Maybe it's another wheel of the year, or maybe it's a check-in with the wheel to see and reflect on the first 6 months. And you can journal or you can doodle, or maybe it's about bringing in some new intentions. Maybe you're working with goddesses and you want to make a little image and a description and almost like an altar to a goddess on these pages. There's so many different ways that you can do it. So be creative. And then back into the monthlies. I'm obsessed with this month. I don't know why. It just is giving me all of the cozy vibes, and maybe because it's November currently and it's just starting to get into the colder temperatures here, there's something about September 2025 for me that I'm super looking forward to just in this journal alone. And these images here that we're coloring and just the books, and I don't know why. I'm just obsessed with this month for some reason. Look at these little ghosts here. Just love them. The other thing that I changed slightly from this journal, I still have the little doodle pages back here, especially if you happen to work at a computer and you're on meetings a lot and you just need to doodle or write things down. You can easily access these blank pages at the back of your journal. And the other thing that I moved to the back so it's easily accessible is the moon themes through the sign. So this is going to help you determine what energy you're going to be working with the new moon, with the full moon, depending what sign it's in. So you can use this as a reference here, and then how to work with the moon phases here as well. So this is right at the back of the journal, as you can see. And then I just have the last little page of scribbles, and that's the end. So thank you so much if you watched through the whole thing. These are available on my website, so I'm going to link that below. And yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you enjoy. Bye.